Hi, this is Gringo, WashingtonLakes.com, and we're in my garage. I'm here with Mike. It's cold and dark outside, so we're doing another 101 video. This one is on setups for a slip float to fish jigs under floats for steelhead and salmon. You can use this for eggs, jigs, anything you want under a float. My setup is a little unique. I don't see a lot of guys using the same setup I do. It works for me, and it's durable. It has less moving parts. I like the different floats. Your mileage may vary. What I start with is got my main line. Start with a bobber stop. And it's just the type of bobber stop you buy in the store. Put your main line through, slide the bobber stop off, slide the tube off the main line, cinch it tight. So I have my bobber stop here. Then I have a bead. That's so that the float doesn't swallow the bobber stop and go above the bobber stop. I have my float. And on the other end of that, I have a rubber bead. A lot of people use these hard beads, and I prefer the rubber bead. You can find them in the same section of the tackle store as the hard beads. What I like about them is it's a cushion between the float and the swivel. After a couple casts, that bead will actually swallow the end of the swivel and just stay there and not move on the line at all. It protects the knot, protects the end of the line there from the action of the float. For weight, I like the inline weights. They're double swivels on each end of them. They're streamlined, they're strong, and that's what works best for me. Some of the other setups that I've seen used, I've seen people use the bobber stop float and 2 egg weights, the sliding egg weights. And this one you can adjust just by adding or reducing your number of egg weights. Another one I've seen used is, this is actually a homemade inline weight. With this one, you have your hollow core lead. Through the lead you have a wire, kind of like a spinner wire, looped on each end of that, and inside that loop you have a swivel on each end. So it's just basically a homemade inline weight. Again, these, you can make them any size you want. They're real simple to make. Another one that I've seen used is actually just pencil lead, just like you use for drift fishing. Have your main line tied to your swivel, pencil lead's hanging off the swivel, and then your leader's tied on the other end. And you have your float and bead above that. Some of the floats that you can use, there's all different kinds of floats. Kind of whatever works for you. I like these Torpedo Floats. I like the thinner model of them. They float up and down straight. No matter what the weight is, I can put a lighter weight on it and it just floats higher in the water, but it's still straight up and down. Some of the fatter floats, you don't use the right weight, they'll lay over. They're clear, they're stealthy, and they're tough. This one here has water in it. That's after I used it, I think, 3 years before I finally retired it. Some of the other floats, I found all these on the river somewhere along the way. This one has weight. It's a balsawood float, has weight in the bottom of it, so you could actually fish this without adding weight to it. There's your salmon stalkers for big baits. You have your classic trout bobber, and this is a fixed bobber, so it's fixed as far as how long your leader is. It'll still work. You have your little dink weights, or dink floats rather. The Bomax are real popular. On these, they actually have the weight, and this is the weight, the ideal weight for underneath the bobber, underneath the float. So this one says 3/4 ounce. So 3/4 ounce, if you have 1/4 ounce jig and a 1/2 ounce weight under it, you got your 3/4 ounce. So that helps you to figure out the ideal weight that goes under the float. Balsa wood weights. This one actually I made. All it is the packing foam for like laptops and computers trimmed up, and took a sharp stick, poked that through there, and then stole a borrowed straw from Tully's. Slid that through. I haven't tried it yet, but I don't see why it wouldn't work. So that's kind of a range of the floats you can use. Gives you an idea of how to set up for float and jig fishing, and go out and give it a try. For those of you still around, I was showing one of my secrets to Mike, and he asked me to spread the word. I found in a fly shop this paillette paste, and what it is, it's almost like a paraffin wax. And what I do before I head out fishing each time is I'll pull about 25 feet of my Mainline, which I'm using 30-pound Power Pro braid. I'll put the braid under my thumb on top of this paraffin wax, reel my line in. What that does is it leaves a coating of that paraffin wax on the braid itself, and it really helps with your line mend. The wax floats, the braid floats, so when you're out on the water and you're mending your line, it really improves how easy it is to mend your line when you're float fishing. So that's a little Gringo secret. I've also used tea candles. The wax from tea candles doesn't work as well as this stuff. I found it in a fly shop, and you know, little dab will do ya. Haven't hardly even made a dent in it.